What's up, Team Favorite? So back with another, or I guess the last video of 2016 for this channel. Uh, so this is my top 10 units that came out in 2016, compiled by me with some input from my buddy Maku. Shoutouts. So how I determined this list, basically just the card that had been released in the English. I guess English not even be the right word anymore, or not anymore, but might be the right word. Basically, I'd be determined, kind of outside of Japan, the TCG format, in 2016, and I limited it to one card per clan because certain clans have half the list. uh, anyway, starting off with this trigger unit. Trigger, wow. Triggers are like that good. Yes, triggers are that good. Taro. So Taro's skill, she? Yeah, she. Definitely a she there. Revelation unit, so she has a Revelation skill, and Gem Break 1, when she's Soul Blasted, you put her on the bottom of your deck, and then you stand something. So, it's the best Soul Blast card, period. Norn's really good, but this one's just better because Norn only works in Regalias. This works in anything. So, yeah. Also, it's generic, so you can, you can use it in anything, and it uses the trigger. The trigger's back in your deck, which means you can trigger it again. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, that's a thing. And speaking of triggers going back in your deck, there's Flogel. Flogel, Counterblast 1, after the Blast Blade, original Blast Blade attacks your Vanguard. Attacks a Vanguard, not your Vanguard. You put it back in your deck and stand it. So, it pretty much turned Blast Blade into a staple for all Royal Pile decks. I don't want to say most, but I mean, even Brave decks will run one Blaster Blade because they can search it through Twin Sword and things like that, and and through Ultimile, so like they can just search it. And I mean, Flogel's a trigger, you need to run triggers anyway, so. And it takes advantage of because a lot of Ultimile units, like, they power up their rear guard, so you can already attack with your already powered up Blaster Blade. So, if you stack triggers on top of it, I mean, yeah, you're going -1, but your opponent's gonna drop at least one extra card anyway, so the -1 that you took is kind of mitigated with the fact that your opponent's also taking a -1, and if you have it if you have it powered up like by not 10k or more, which means basically if you just use the first Ultimile, that stride skill, it's the 17k unit, which means you need 10k guard anyway. You lost 10k shield, yeah, but once again, so did your opponent, so it's Then we have next card, Spectral Blaster Diablo, the first of many of the strides on this list. Although there are quite a few non-strides on this list. So his skill is Soul Blast 1, flip anything in your G zone, which is nice for people who play this deck IRL. You don't have to buy 4. You can just buy 2 and, be fine. You then choose one of your regards and kill it, and then it gets a skill, which is Gem Break 3, Counterblast 2, kill 2 regards, stand it. It only has one drive check, but I mean, you restood your 26k Vanguard, so and that's after your triple drive, so yeah. And then if you have a Diablo Heart, you can get a grade 1 and call it to rear guard circle. So yeah, it's a Restanding Stride, which is very, very strong. Restanding Strides have always been incredibly strong. And it's generic, which is pretty nice. I mean, yeah, it's a little more minus if you're not playing it in Diablo, but even then, I can't think of a Shadow Paladin deck where you wouldn't run this because it's just so good. Then we have Denial Griffin, the best G-Guard. Okay, maybe not. That's debatable, but I mean, Counterblast 1, kill the attacking unit. Kill the opponent's attacking rear guard. I mean, gosh, it's pretty freaking nuts. It wrecks Magnums, Titles, big Neo-Nectar lanes. All that stuff is loose Blaster Blades that you want to stand with your Flogel. It wrecks targets for that Genesis Santa guy just showed off. Yeah, it wrecks all that stuff. It Melums. Oh, the list goes on. Upstream. I mean, it goes on. Then more of a surprising one, but this one, I just feel it's more the clan is overshadowed by everything else. But honestly, it's still such an insane card, which is Rikudo Stealth Dragon Sukumurakan. So if you know what this thing does, it's a Nubatama card. Gem Break 2, Counterblast 2, G-flip anything. When it's placed on on Vanguard Circle, and you pay the cost, if you do, your opponent chooses 4 cards from their hand, and binds everything else. Yeah. So basically, it forces your opponent down to 4 cards in their hand. And then Nubatama also have this card that you kind of just want to put in your soul, and if one has 3 or more cards in their hand, or 4 more cards in their hand, I can't remember which one it is, you bind one of them. So you can. It's probably one of, if not the best finishers in the game, honestly, because you're going to swing for 26k minimum, which means your opponent's going to need at least 2 cards for a 1 to pass. And then, I mean, ideally, rear guards can go, 19-ish, that area, 16-ish, which is a 10k, which means your opponent's going to have 2 10k shields on top of that, which means they basically need 4 10k shields, assuming you don't hit a trigger. I mean, it's too good. Like, you're practically almost always going to force damage, and if you use it while your opponent's at 5 damage, and you get a trigger, it gets really, really... It's unbelievable, honestly. Honestly, I don't know how Nubatama isn't more meta, because, jeez, like, it's insane. Then we have Frog Raider, another kind of non-stride unit. Frog Raider is still really, really strong, too. He's Gem Break 1. When a unit with a charge ability is placed on the rear guard circle in the same column as him, through the effect of one of your cards, if your Vanguard with Rising in its name, you stand it. So basically, you call something in front of it, you have it charged, you attack with that column, then you attack the Vanguard. You can either use your Vanguard skill or Rising Nova skill to put a unit there, like in front of him. Frog Raider stands. You give any triggers, any power from triggers onto Frog Raider. Then, after that, you can then like attack with your. Then after that, you put the unit back in your deck from charge. Then you can attack with like Wind Killer Misery, call another unit, restand Frog Raider, and then have Frog Raider and attack again. Then the unit goes back. It gets insane. Like Frog Raider just, it's so good. It's too good. Letting your unit that you have trigger stacked on restand, and it's a booster, so you can put it behind anything. It's just like, why? Then yeah, I mean, really, I need to explain this. Like, come on. I guess I'll explain it. Even though, I mean, anyone who plays at all should already know why this unit's here. Melum gets you whatever the hell you want, and I mean, with that Shrine trigger that they have that like lets them recycle cards, I mean, they can get freaking TikTok Worker from their deck. I mean, gosh, Melum, like, why Gear Chronicle has good grade zeros is beyond me. You can even get that card that lets you that goes in the soul, and you draw a card and you give your Vanguard 5k with a Chrono unit. And I mean, it can attack Vanguards unboosted. I mean, it's just, I mean, if they're gonna limit a Gear Chronicle card, this should have been the card they limited. Actually, not even, because they have upstream. Like, it doesn't. Why this is a mechanic with Gear Chronicle that they have upstream and Melum, and you can go into this from upstream too. So like, even if they limited it, and I mean, even if they limited it, and even if Donald Griffin did, they still have their G Guardian. Like, Melum is just too freaking good. Oh my god, I cannot emphasize how good this card is. It's so good. Then we have Ideal Maiden Thuria. So basically, when she'll be placed on a regard circle, you choose a unit, and you choose out one of your units, and if you have Vanguard with Ranculus in its name, it becomes that unit. So basically, this card's whatever the hell you want it to be. And then also, at the end of your main phase, you can choose a card with the same name as it from your drop zone, put it on top of your deck, and then you put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So you can reuse the effect a billion times over if you need to. It's whatever you want it. It's too useful. Then we have Odysseus. This is another card I really shouldn't have to explain. It's format defining, honestly. It's unbelievable. Like it's oh my gosh. And also like it's just like it made the deck so fast because I mean you get Odysseus, and at that point like you go. The issue with Odysseus was also to like it's yeah, it's once per turn, but it makes the mid game of a deck whose mid game is already the best in the game even better. And it in a state now where we have the game where basically everything's gem break oriented, it essentially practical out for degenerate play where I mean you're just at grade 2 and you're not even losing advantage from it either from you being at grade 2 because I mean you're just you had 4 full turns, you had like 3 to 4 full turns of just using the effect to just get your grade 2. I mean, and then your grade 2, you also have the grade 2's effect, so your Vanguard was still dangerous, and you had a 10k base, so you still had some decent defensive power. It was, thank goodness this card's freaking semi-limited, because, oh my gosh. And the last card on this list, kind of weird choice, people might think, which is Obadiah, the Ghosty King guy. But I picked him because he's a quick toolbox. He's a really, really good first stride. Basically, just you just stride him and you get any 3 cards from your deck, and you put him in your drop zone. So essentially, you toolbox out your toolbox out your entire deck. But I mean, you set up your drop zone toolbox with whatever you need. Situation calls for it. You need Grenache, you get Grenache. You need Slashlight, you get Slashlight in there. You need he's 8k King Serpent. You need King Serpent, you get him in there. Whatever heck you need. Essentially, like it lets Grand Blue run one of cards, and it doesn't even matter that they're one ofs because they can just Ghosty King them right into the drop zone, so they have access to it whenever they need it. It's such a good toolbox card. It's too good. But yeah, anyway, that's my list. If anyone has any other cards that they thought came out this year that were, or I guess for some people already at this point, this video goes up last year. Any other cards that people thought were good that came out, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next year.